Hey you guys, it is your girl Talk That Talk Mia, and I am back with a continuation of this love story. So the last video I talked to y'all about, being falsely accused and charged, just a whole, y'all know that story. If you don't know, if you haven't kept up thus far, I'm gonna need you to go back to the very first video where I talked about, a true love story, and then watch every video after that one, okay? That will put you up to speed to where we are today. So, I told y'all that I had to leave Yazoo City and go to California, okay? So, y'all, oh my God, this Cali experience was a whole faith move. Do you hear me? Like, let's just get into this. I literally, like, before leaving here, I was like, bro, like, do I need to go and get a job and just save all of my money first before I leave and go to this really big state where I can either sink or swim? Or do I just trust God, trust His voice of Him leading and guiding me to this big city? Y'all, needless to say, I'm gonna say this. When I am, let me just tell y'all about the provision of God, okay? Like, when I first went to Cali, like for the first time in the month of June of 2021, on my way back, y'all know how the flights be overbooked. Well, the flights were overbooked and they were trying to get someone to, like, well, not just someone, but people to give up their seats. And in terms of giving up your seat, you would receive a voucher, a travel voucher. So they'll sell you, like, okay, well, this is like a free trip, a free round trip to Hawaii, or a free round trip over to Cozumel. They were selling it like that. But something in my heart just was like, you know what, just, you will only have to wait for an hour. So go ahead and accept that voucher and sit your butt here for another hour, and it's gonna be good. Y'all, I did that. They said that the voucher would be for $600. Oh, excuse me. But end all be all, that voucher was $750. Okay. So fast forward, I'm getting ready and I'm just like, okay, what now? After I'm feeling all sorts of ill, and I'm like, what do I have to um like lose here in Yazoo? Like, literally nothing. I have everything to gain, but nothing to lose here. Like, my son is not here, so why am I here? So here I am. I'm like, well, I'm gonna be obedient to the Lord, right? So I go ahead and I'm like, that's when the voucher popped up in my head. I'm like, okay, well, I already have um the money for the flight or whatever, and I'm going one way. I just need to make sure that I have a place to stay and food to eat. But I'm trusting in God, right? So here I am, y'all, literally. I didn't just close my eyes and book the flight like that following weekend. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna get my hair braided. Y'all already know I talked about the braids when I moved to Atlanta. I had to get them braids back in my head, baby, because again, I didn't know how to do my hair. So I'm like, okay, let me get these braids. Got the braids, washed my clothes up, and I heard the Holy Spirit, and He showed me like to pack light. Okay, I just heard Him saying, don't take all of those shoes. I'm like, okay, don't take all of those shoes. So yeah, I still packed about 4 pair of shoes and had a really big suitcase, y'all, and just not a lot of clothes, but a lot of clothes. But it was one big suitcase and a tote and carry bag, y'all. Oh my God. But anyway, I did that. Needless to say, so my mama like, look, I'm about to go. Everybody's worried about where you gonna stay, where you gonna stay. Well, little did they know that when I um like pay for that flight, y'all, I received a like $35 room booking special for Freehand Hotel that was like downtown Los Angeles. So I'm like, okay, this must have to be some, hole in the wall type place. I'm like $35 LA. Come on now. No, y'all, it was a hostel. It was a top-notch hostel. And I'm gonna tell y'all what is a hostel if you don't know. Y'all, oh my God. Oh my God. But yeah, so it was a top-notch hostel with a rooftop pool. They host parties there. I'm talking about it was just it. So I get there and I'm like, like, okay, well, this is where I'm gonna stay. But I didn't have the money like right then to stay there. So like I didn't have all the money because I was trying to just book out for a week. And then after a week, I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm trusting in you, God. Y'all got there, literally got there, and after I was getting food on the flights and everything, making sure that I'm good. I got there and I had to literally like wait around because I was short a little bit of the money because I needed when it came time for me to swipe my debit card, y'all. Literally, I could not swipe it because I only had just the amount of money on there, and they needed to hold a specific amount of money. I think like $97 or $57, something like that. I can't remember, but for a security deposit. So I sat there and I'm waiting. I'm just praying. I'm like, God, you got to do something. Lo and behold, here comes my sister, my oldest sister. And she goes to texting me like, you good? And this, that, and the other. And I go on and tell her, bam, she sent me $200. So I'm like, okay, well, this is going to get me over and through until my money comes on here. So the days passed by, y'all. And there was this girl who I was in the room with. And Z, girl, you the real MVP. Like, oh my God, you know who you are. But she was just sitting there, and she was from like it was two females. One was from Houston, and one was from another country. Okay, and she was just staying there until her friend came in and they were gonna go somewhere else. But Z, that wasn't her first rodeo. She's a film writer and just a like producer. Like she's like jack of all trades, y'all. And by career, I think she worked with the union for I can't recall that, but she made great money. But she told me about her experience and how she go to Hollywood all the time and she'll be like homeless. She'll go apply for food stamps and would literally just thug it out riding the buses all day or going to sleep at the Union Station train. Y'all, oh my God, life is for real in LA, okay? Like, whew, oh my goodness. But listening to her and telling me how she would take her showers and stuff, she would go to the gyms and take a shower and just a lot of, oh my God, man, it was so crazy. But sitting there talking to her, she was like, you're really guarded. And I'm in my heart and mind, I'm like, yes, I am. But then she was like, the minute that you become vulnerable is when you're gonna have your best-selling book. So I'm like, okay, but I feel like I'm being vulnerable now because I'm telling y'all all my business. Y'all know how many people in this world who are shamed of the things that they go through for the glory of the Lord? Like, I don't really understand if people know that what we go through is all for the glory of the Lord. Like, it's just some people become bound to their circumstances. But I just felt like, you know what? I'm being naked. I'm being bold. I'm being unashamed for God. And I was just feeling like, it's not my time, and it hasn't, gotten into the right person's hand. And of course, I had to continue the sequel. So she was like, you know what, you remind me of Tyler Perry. So, and she was like, well, he's so predictable. But I'm like, no, in all honesty, I don't think that Tyler Perry, I don't think he go deep enough, if you ask me. I feel like I have the solution to a lot of people's television series and everything, y'all. It's Jesus that they're missing, but people are so stuck and bound to religious things or to religion, and the people in the church are just bound to being religious to where they can't even talk to a person and meet a person where they are by telling their testimony. We're overcome by the power of testimonies, okay? The testimony of Jesus Christ and how he came and saved your life. So let me not go too deep there. We're going to get there. Trust me, I promise. So, after she told me her experience, y'all, I think like fear wasn't creeping in, but at the same time, it was like, Lord, did you bring me here to like make me homeless? Like, did you bring me here so I can sleep outside? Like, no, I'm not sleeping outside, but, if you want me to sleep outside for you, I got you. Like, I'll sleep outside for you. But, y'all, she was, this is the gem that she dropped. She was like, but you know what? She was like, I think you should check out this place called Podshare. They have several locations. It's like dormitory living, a big camping place. She was like, you can work to live there. Like, you can work in the space, in the living space, basically like being the RA to live there. So here I am, I'm on there looking places up, trying to figure it all out. And I'm like, okay. And then the place it was cheaper to stay there too. Like a twin size bed runs between $50 and $55 a night. And the queens were $75 or $77 per night. Y'all. Oh my God. So listen, when I tell y'all that this was literally a faith walk and a faith journey, I promise y'all it was, because mind y'all, I'm new to LA. I didn't have a job. I didn't have any money, to like stay. And I literally was waking up every day trying to see like, okay, Lord, what am I going to do? And she was telling me, okay, well, you can go over there on Million, was it the Million Mile road? I forgot. But she told me to go. She was like, you need to be over there. So I'm like, okay. So every day I would wake up and go do things like get up and go walk, go explore, go check out the scenery. She told me where to stay away from, and that was definitely Skid Row. Skid Row is where all of the homeless people literally live. Like, they're out there. So I'm like, okay, cool. I got you. I'm listening. We here, y'all. So the last nugget that she gave me was be careful, because in Hollywood or just LA period, everybody is somebody. She was like, you can pull up to the coffee shop and you will see a Rolls Royce, or you will see a Bentley, you will see a G63, a G550, and you will see someone in there with a laptop, and they may come over there and they may see you over there working, and they may come over where you are and try to, hold a conversation with you and basically pitch themselves. Acting like they're someone. She was basically telling me that I had to fake it until I made it. So y'all know me. I'm like, fake it till I make it. No, I'm not gonna fake it till I make it. I want someone to see my value and know that they have a diamond. Okay, I'm not going to chase anything. I'm just gonna, let preparation meet the opportunity. Like literally, that's it. I feel like I hold the keys and the gems to a lot of things. So that was my mentality. That's where I was. Kept on going. Okay, here we are about to go to this pod share. They had, like I said, they had so many locations, but I ended up in the Los Feliz location over there, like literally in Hollywood. And I'm like, okay. But y'all, I got on that bus. I got lost. Like, well, not really lost. I just rolled it all the way around town. I finally got over on, I don't even know which street, but I hopped off. I went and got some food, y'all. And I caught in a lift. I'm like, Lord, no, I need every little piece of money I got. But yet and still, I'm going to catch a lift because I'm tired of dragging this suitcase around. And I'm hot. Like, y'all, it was the summer. They said that was the hottest summer that California had ever had. And baby, I believe it. I'm like, oh, Lord, this is pure hell, Lord. Like, oh, my goodness. So I get to Podshare finally, y'all. Check in, out, go in, out, look. I'm like, oh, the smell. You mean all of these people in here, you know, these guys, you know, like I have to share. This is a co-living space, like literally open floor plan. Y'all, I want y'all to literally like Google Podshare California, Los Feliz location, and Hollywood location or downtown location, Venice location. I've stayed at all except the actual one on I'm not sure if it was on Vine in Hollywood. I don't know, but the Los Feliz is still in Hollywood. But I didn't stay at that one. But anyway, but when I got in there, like I knew I was supposed to be in there because I hadn't already saw that in my vision. I saw this man that was in my vision. I was standing up there with my suitcase and my shoes, and I looked down at the man, and I'm like, ugh. And in the dream, I got scared as I don't know where, y'all. And I woke up and I was like, oh no, Lord, what is this? But that was confirmation when I got there, y'all, because I saw the man that looked just like him. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm where I'm supposed to be. Okay. So I get there and y'all, oh my God, like I started crying. I was sitting on that bed just crying my little ass out, y'all. Just crying. So I'm like, Lord, like, I know you didn't bring me here for this. Like, you gotta be playing with me. Like, no, this is not it. But yet and still, the other side of me was just like, hey, whatever it takes, wherever you taking me to, Lord, I'm about to go and get it. Let's get it. I'm with you. Like that was the other side of me. That's the big dog me. That's that big me there. For real though. But little Jamia be chicking out sometimes in her softness. Like I literally have two sides of me. I got that never scared side, and then I have that side that actually just think about like my feelings. Like I can get into my feelings, but baby, I can shut them off too. I definitely know how to shut them off. But anyway, that happened. So I'm just like, okay, Lord, I need a job. Like, what am I gonna do? Y'all know I'm just trying to get everything, just intake running, okay? Cause baby, I can't be sitting here just depending on people every day. Cause I'm knowing that this is how God is gonna bless me through people. Like He's gonna be sending people to help me. But I wasn't used to accepting help from anyone. I worked all my life. Like literally have worked all of my life and done everything for myself. So no, it's not easy for me to accept things. Well, I'm not gonna say now. If at first it was not easy for me to accept things from people. So continuing on, like I said, every day, oh my God, I didn't know where I was gonna lay my head at, y'all. And it used to be to the point where I'm like, God, like, if you want me to lay outside, just say that. But you know I'm scared. You know that there are villains out here. Y'all, it would be so bad to where I would be out in the daytime. And in LA, if you sit down on the block, like any block, someone is definitely going to stop and try to pick you up. They think that you're prostituting. You can be sitting on the corner waiting for the bus. You can be sitting in there because you're tired. Or just sitting on not just the corner, but any part of the sidewalk or the pavement. You can guarantee, man, oh my God, somebody's gonna try to pick you up and say they want to take you home or get in. Like, who? No, indeed. No. But anyway, continuing on, I was filling out job applications back to back to back, and I was wondering like why my nursing application was still pending. Because I'm like, bro, like this is my bread right here. I can get out here and baby, like do numbers. Let's go. At this point, like I'm ready to hop back into nursing. I felt like I was so I can get the money, but deep down inside I really didn't want to because I wasn't ready yet. I wasn't ready to hop back out there in that field until y'all, I had then received an email from a cosmetic surgeon place. Yeah, where they do the BBLs and the boobs and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my God, I always wanted to work in surgery. So yes, let's go. And yeah, oh my God, bruh. So went to that interview. It was in Beverly Hills too. I'm like, I step out, little bourgeois. I'm telling y'all, like I was ready, like rock ready, and they were talking good. They were ready to hire me, y'all. But when it came down to the license, they were like, okay, cool, like we got you, but we're gonna have to have those temporary license before we can get you started or whatever. So I'm trying to go through the process with that, y'all. And I'll be all, nothing fell through. Nothing. Got called for a management position at another facility. Y'all, let me just tell y'all about that. That day, this guy said that he used to be in show business. Okay, he did some things with the Bill Cosby show and all of that kind of stuff, and he was the administrator there. And he had written this book. He was an author, like, just everything. And I'm sitting up there like, God, how I get in this place? Like I'm like, people are on everywhere, but on every corner, that's saying that they do stuff. But then here I am back thinking to where Z told me that everybody is somebody in Hollywood. But this man was telling me like he was a part of the Writers Guild and everything, and he was really shooting me like the real and the raw parts. And he was like, oh, so you say you're a writer, but are you a part of the Writers Guild? And I'm like, no, what is the Writers Guild? And he's like, the Writers Guild of America, WGA. And he goes on and he explains to me about the Writers Guild, and I was like, okay, it clicked there. That's where Z, she had talked to me about the WGA as well. And I'm like, okay, the official writers, I got you. So I go on there and he gave me a list of things to do, y'all. This man was literally showing up for me. He really wanted to help me, but when he found out that I didn't have those nursing license for California, of course I couldn't get that job either. But he kept my phone number. Like he took my application out of the trash where I threw it and got my phone number off there and kept calling me, telling me some things to do. He was like, okay, you can go check this site out, and see if they're hiring any nurses for, you know, show business. Like, you know, all these episodes that have the nurses and things like that. And if they're not hiring for that, maybe you can still work there as a nurse, like practice as a nurse. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Like, he just kept telling me, he was like, you belong in Hollywood. You have the face for Hollywood. So I'm like, okay. But he was like, you can't be out here with anything. He said, there are a lot of monsters out here, a lot of frogs, and you're going to have to kiss a few frogs before you get to the prince. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, really, bro? Like, you too? Like, no. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, but yeah, so I'm like, geez, this is awful. Like, don't tell me I'm gonna have to kiss a few frogs in order to get to the prince, because that's just not something that I am willing to do. So, but of course, that was the big league, and yeah. But this man, he was like a blessing to me. He called me back and he gave me $100. He said, I just feel in my spirit to give you $100. So I'm like, okay, let's go. This is too nice worth of staying at PodShare. Okay, I got you. Yeah, and he was like, and don't drop your pants for anyone unless you're gonna drop them for a rich old man like me. Y'all, he lost me right there, because I was like, not you too, not you trying to, nah, but y'all know me, I just, okay, and kept it kicking. I'm not fearful. I'm that's just who I am by nature. Okay, let me keep kicking. I'm keeping my eyes open for God. So the days kept rolling by, and I meet this other guy inside of PodShare, and OB, I love you. So, but he's from Houston. So y'all, like literally everybody that was in PodShare is from everywhere. Okay, like literally everywhere. You have people who were rappers, and like I'm talking about, like you can Google them and you see their net worth, but they were there at PodShare. Like, I'm talking about, you never know the reason behind all of the dopeness in the atmosphere. But hey, I'm with it. Like, I knew that that's where I was supposed to be, and I stayed there. But anyway, what is his name? Obi, y'all, it would be some days, because Obi had stayed outside before too. Like, not to saying that I have, but I was overly thinking about others who were staying in PodShare, and it was like, no, it wasn't a secret, or wasn't like nothing for them to sleep outside until they got money to stay back in PodShare. And every day you wake up, you don't know if you had the bed secured or not. Like, someone could literally book that bed while you're in your sleep, okay? And you wake up and be out of that bed by 10 a.m. and someone else can be coming to check in that bed. So it hadn't got down to the point where, you know, me and Obi was like late booking or whatever, and here we are having, it was a twin size bed left though. Y'all know those were like, I told you, $75, $77 to sleep in. Bro, why we literally like went half on a bed and slept in them. Like, literally, he was like, you remind me of my sister, like, come on, let's go. And y'all, when we realized that we were like, it was cheaper that way, we did that for some time. We were both on the grind. He went out, he was like, he's a singer and a stylist, like was literally trying to make a way out there. He like, oh my God, we gonna get to telling his story one day, because it is phenomenal. He just felt like he's been sheltered all of his life, and he wanted to get out and make it on his own. So that's where he came in. Hey, he had gotten an intern out there and just doing the thing. So he had got this job at the Breakfast Club in Hollywood, off of Hollywood and Vine. Oh my God. So he told me about it. Next thing you know, I went and filled out an application. So this is week number 2 in LA. I filled out the application. The hiring manager, he had already told me who to ask for. So I asked for him. He took me upstairs. He was talking to me. He was looking at my resume. He was like, "And why are you here?" He was like, "You're overqualified. I can't pay you." I was like, "Oh my God, please do not come with this "I can't pay you" story, because I'm willing to work for whatever. I don't care. I just need money to pay my rent, where I'm laying my head, and I need money to stay there. Everything else does not even matter. So he was like, "Okay, come tomorrow and we're gonna see if you like this, because you a whole nurse out here. You can't be why you." He was like, "But I'm gonna give you a chance." Y'all, I was like, let's go. Like, seriously, week number 2 in LA, and y'all, it's hard for people. I didn't even know it was hard for people to like get jobs like that. I witnessed people coming in and them just looking at them like, "You're not about to work here." You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like that was a blessing. He was an angel in disguise for me. So y'all, I get there and Google The Breakfast Club Hollywood. Oh my God, some people are like idiots and they may leave bad reviews because like it was a fairly new restaurant when I did go there. But y'all, oh my God, anyway, it was the bomb to me. Like the music, the vibes, the everything, y'all, like so dope. You never know what celebrity you're gonna see there because they hosted private events, parties and things. I got a chance to meet Macy Gray, Bobby Brown, let's see, JoJo Siwa, and what's the Gina from Martin? I forget her. Tisha Campbell. Got to meet her, but yeah, and I was only there for such a short time, and oh my God, when I tell y'all that I loved it. So imagine you going from being a nurse to a server. And I wasn't really a server like by title. They hired me as a barista. And a barista is a person who makes the coffees and, the cereal bar and just everything breakfasty and drinks, basically the coffees. Oh my goodness, y'all. But when they saw my work ethic, they asked me like, "Hey, you want to be trained as a server?" I didn't know, what the hype was about, but baby, when I saw what the hype was really about, I was like, okay then. I'm talking about getting you to $1,000 days some days. Like literally $800, $900, $700 a day in cash tips. Like, are you serious? Like, where they do that at? Like, I wasn't even about to make that as a nurse a day. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm gonna work 24 hours. And we know not. We can't. So, oh my goodness, it was a dope experience. I got a chance to get back into the working mode because I told you I haven't worked. I wasn't working for like a year and a half at that time, from March 2020 until April 2021. That's when I started back working, April 2021, y'all. And oh my God, like I said, I got back to me, like just helping people, serving people, giving that smile, being nice, not going around just being mediocre every day. Like it just, and not being angry at the world, but literally letting it all out. Like just tapping and tuning back into me. Like, y'all, that was the best thing that the Lord could have ever like done for me. But at the same time, when I got there, he told me to shut my mouth and not to make videos while I was there. So I slick felt like I was in prison, like being staying where I was staying and not being for sure until I got the job and stuff, I felt like I was literally in prison. Literally. Y'all, that's just, but I went through it because all in all, I knew it was for the glory of the Lord. But y'all, the temptations that were in that city, let me just say that it was not so much of the status, the fame, and all of that. It was more of the access that you had. Like, I'm gonna just be real transparent and raw with y'all. I literally, the other side of me, like my ego, y'all, I love to dance. I love a good hood jam. I love dance music. I love music, period. So I was wanting to like go out to like the clubs. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, I got a pretty face. You know, I can go and, you know, I may not have the biggest butt or a big butt for that matter at all. I'm like, okay, well, I may just go on and go to this club and be a bottle girl, you know, put that makeup on, go get me a frontal laid, and bam, there it is. Like, it's easy. Go get the money. But then, as I kept thinking harder and harder on it, I would wake up with this song in my spirit, y'all. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Y'all. Oh my God. It was so crazy because I'm like, okay, well, I know that all of the ballers, all the people with status, you know, they see a pretty face and they ready to strike some. You be a bottle girl, what you gonna do? Go around taking shots of whatever all night, you know, and there's no telling what you may be tempted to do. Our flesh is weak as I don't know what. Y'all can sit there, fake it, front, stunt, all you want to, but flesh is weak, okay? So I'm just sitting there like, okay, God, like, I got you. I'm gonna go, you know, just keep working at the Breakfast Club, you know, and it is what it is. But I'm like, bro, like, no, this ain't that. But the more I realize, I'm like, actually, it is. Like, I worked with a few actresses and a few actors. Like, I didn't know that they literally work those type of jobs when they don't have a job coming up for a movie or a commercial or whatever they're filming. I didn't know. But, you know, I'm there and I'm learning all of these things. So I'm like, maybe I am in a good, you know, position or whatever. And here we go. I'm like, okay, God, this is like what do you want me to do? Like, I'm here, I'm waiting patiently. And what did I start to do? I just started writing, like, not started, but I continued to write my book. So sitting down at the table with one of the guys who were in the industry, he was like, you know what, Mia, like, you just need to start writing that book and you need to make this into a TV series because it's gonna pop. He was like, this story is dope. What you're reading me is really dope. You remind me of Issa Rae. You need to follow her and see how she paved the way to, you know, to pick up some gems from her. So I'm just like, okay. He was like, but the difference between you and her is like she's more on the comedy side, but you are just real and raw with yours. So I'm just like, okay, but never did watch Issa Rae because I didn't want to taint my image with her, okay, from her perspective. And that's so easy to do. I wanted to just finish writing what I was writing. And then later on, I was like, you know what, once I'm done, I will go and, you know, watch Issa Rae or whatever. And I've yet to do that. And I believe that I will, just to get the gist of things and how to write out the shows and etc. But as far as content, no, I do believe that I'm truly one of one. Okay. Not being cocky, but very much so confident. All right. But yeah, so that kept like, and I just feel like, okay, I'm just here now. I'm just here. I'm just working. And I'm basically getting tired. And I started getting sick, y'all. Here come these sick episodes again. And I'm like, Lord, like, what is it? And one day when I got sick and I went to Hollywood Presbyterian, I heard this voice, and it was not this voice, but the Lord's voice, tell me to go in peace. And I'm like, okay. And with hearing that voice telling me to go in peace, I'm like, well, when I think it was somewhere in the Bible, there was a story about how someone tried to stone this man to death because he sinned, and he told them, if neither one of them sinned, I think to cast the first stone or whatever, and they couldn't do it, but he told the guy to like go and sin no more. And hold on, let me just look. Y'all already know this stuff be coming to me, and that just let me know that I need to read and familiarize myself with the biblical context. Let's see, go in peace. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Let's go. John 16:33. No. I don't know, y'all, but literally, when he said that, I knew that there was like from a biblical standpoint. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna be peaceful, and I'm gonna, cast all of these cares upon you, because truth be told, like, y'all know the situation with that I had just gone through, being arrested and stuff, that was still in my spirit and sitting in my soul, y'all. And honestly, I know why he was telling me to go in peace. It was that, and then it was everything that people had done to me, and just me feeling like this is not it, and thinking about everything that I felt like people had just like, let me not say people, but I felt like I was like literally someone caused me to stumble, okay? Like, and when I came into the knowing of all of those things, it was really making me angry. And when I was seeing stuff in my dreams, like, I'm talking about like real life things, y'all, that seems so real. And I'm like, bro, like, what if this is happening? Because I just feel like God be showing me a lot of things in the spirit that be going on in the natural. And oh my God, he was just dealing with me in such way, like the offensiveness and just everything. Like, he had to burn it up out of me, burn everything out of me. He took me away from this city to burn the rest of any hell that was in me. Okay? And when I say hell, that means the unrighteousness that was inside of me. That was just not good, y'all. It was not a good sight. It was definitely not a good sight. But I made it through. Y'all. And I feel like with me making it through, it put me in a different space and state. And there I was again, getting my sign to leave LA. I was like, oh, surely not. Surely I'm not leaving Los Angeles. What did I come here for? Oh, you were showing me that I don't have to be in the place for whatever to happen. Were you showing me that? Or were you showing me that it was a facade? That place is a facade. You got people struggling out there, trying to make it, trying to get a chance. No. You can live wherever your birthright is, okay? And you can go and fly out there to the events. You know, it was so funny just seeing that, knowing how all of the red carpet events work. You know, like, as long as you have a PR person, a public relations person to get out there and put you on the list for these events, you can get in there, and it's really just a really big networking scheme. Well, I want to say scheme, just it's business. And who's to say that you're really gonna get in the face of who you're trying to seek after? You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, before I go do that, baby, I'm straight on that. I'm straight. I'm not gonna be out here struggling because the cost of living is just way too high. And I'm not gonna live in nothing bust down when I can just go back to the rural old Mississippi, rural old Yazoo City, and live in something that look worth something for a little of nothing, okay? Than to be out here robbing Peter to pay Paul and making it look like this is the life. No judgment, no pun intended, but no, I'm not Jamia Alexander. I'm called to live a blessed and abundant life. And if the Lord wants me to have a condo out there or a beach house or something, then surely he's going to give me the money to afford that. But as far as just being there to go be on the list of someone's parties and events, I just feel like, no, that's not me. And I will not, stress myself out to have a seat at someone else's table when I know that what the Lord has on the inside of me, he said that he prepares a table, okay, in the presence of my enemy. And he anoints my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Psalms 23:5. Why should I? We all have tables to sit down at. We have a table to sit down at and feast with Jesus, y'all. And when he gives you the way to go, the vision, you better believe that it's not gonna fail. You may run into some bumps and roads bumps in the road along the way, but the strategy and the vision that he gives you will not fail. And I promise you, going somewhere and just struggling, for me, just was not it. And some people may say, oh, you didn't want it enough. Like, you didn't want it. But I too say, yes, I do. And yes, I did. But not in that way. I had other things to settle. We had to go settle the score with my kid's dad, y'all. And with that being said, that is a whole other video. Okay? No, for real though, like that, I'm gonna have to end that, because in this because like I said, that's something totally different. And I wanted to tell y'all about this Hollywood experience. And y'all, it was bomb. It was nice, but it was a facade, and it wasn't me. I have a video that I'm going to follow up right behind this one. So stay tuned, and it'll show y'all me leaving Hollywood. All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you all soon.